actual servo cutout is going to be this area here in red. And the rest of that is just the ledge that the coroplast sits on, all the way around each one of these pieces. Now the last thing is the center section here. When you're gluing your coroplast in, and this doesn't have to be perfect either, but this is just something that will help keep your coroplast from caving in when you're glassing the wing. So it's a good idea to, this piece here will be saved, and it is cut out. This whole section's cut out, but what I do is when I route this out here on top, I route this out too. I leave these alone. I just route within my line here, so that it's the same depth as the ledge here. So when I glue this on, it's going to be perfectly flush. And when I set my router up, I'll take a straight edge or something that I have that is the same thickness as the coroplast, because if you use it to set it up on your router, a lot of times this isn't perfectly flat, and coroplast will fold in, or it won't be level. So it's always best to set your router up with something that is the same thickness and is rigid enough to hold its shape, so you can be accurate. And when you do route it out, it'll look really, really clean. Okay, when I'm cutting these out, I use a straight edge, and I use the inside of my line. You may have to trim things up, but once you cut this out, you want to leave it in there. You don't want to remove it. The main reason is that you still have to route this out, and even if you trace it with your blade here, it's not a big deal. You'll make your final cuts once you have it routed out and trimmed up nice. But I'm just going to trace this out, so I have my lines here with a blade. This just so I know where everything's at after I use my router. Otherwise it's going to be hard to tell where everything's at. And again, I'm just cutting out this center part here. I'm not cutting out the ledge. You can even do your servo. You can do it all one time, or you can do it in stages. It's totally up to you how you want to do it. just be mindful of where you're cutting, that you're not making cuts you don't need to make. Any cut weakens the foam. You can kind of pull on the foam a little bit and see where your cuts were made. Make sure you got everything. You can pull on it and see where your cuts are. I'll go ahead and set my router up. If you have a smaller router, it's not a big deal. Just be careful when you do this. Just follow your lines. up there. You can kind of see as I'm pulling this away, I still got my lines there. And you can, like here, I got a little carried away, missed my line, but that can all be straightened up. It's not a big deal. Just a matter of taking your measurement from your root, 5.5 inches, 5.5 there. The best thing to do is just to keep it square, and try not to interfere with your servo. So what I'm going to do, just so that I keep that nice and straight, is go ahead and trim that out so I know that my line is straight with this. When I set my coroplast in here, I'm going to backfill that with spackling or something to fix that.